What's going on, XCFL fans, and welcome back to the Lion's Den. It is episode number 8, and we are back with season 13. We just finished up the offseason. We've kicked off the year. We're through week 4, I believe, and the Lions are off to a hot start. Let's kind of break down what we're going to talk about this episode. We're going to talk about our top 2 picks in the rookie draft. We'll go over our starting offensive and defensive lineups for season 13. We'll kind of check out our schedule, how we're looking so far, and who we got coming up. And we'll talk about some key re-signs as well. It's going to be a jam-packed episode. No highlights today. The next episode, we will be back with some highlights for our week 5, week 6 games. But as of right now, we're just gonna kind of go over the wins and the losses. But we'll go ahead and get started here with we'll go over with our first draft pick. So we had the number 4 pick in the draft. And, we had a few needs in our secondary to fill. The number 1 corner went off the board early. So we were kind of sitting there and we just were thinking best available player. Well, as you can see on the screen, we got wide receiver out of Clemson, Dixon Bishop. Bishop's 6'5", 225, 21 years old. Ran a 4.38 at the combine, which is what really stuck out to us. His spectacular catch at A- and B+ route running out of a guy that's that big, His 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle weren't bad. It actually compares pretty well to Gordon Todd, who was drafted a year ago by Philadelphia. He actually a little bit faster in both of those, as well as the 40. 39, the vertical jump, 39 inches. Just a very impressive combine from this young man. Only 21 years old, came out of Clemson early. And in Detroit, all wide receiver comparisons go right to Calvin Johnson, and with this guy being 6'5", 225 and putting that 4.3 40 like he did, it could be a second coming of Megatron, Calvin Johnson. You can kind of go over our next slide here. You can kind of see the player card. So he came in, this is right when we drafted him, 93 speed, 91 acceleration, the 92 jump, 91 spec catch right out of the box, 85 catching traffic. So, all the fundamental stuff is there. Then the 6'5", 225, and only 21, he's going to be really cheap to upgrade. To grab this guy at number 4 was awesome. We had a few trades to get up there and grab him, and we were really hoping that he wasn't going in the top 3. We were worried about Tampa Bay taking him a little bit, but we're pretty happy he fell to us at 4. So then we ended up having, I believe it was the 6th pick in the draft. We had our eyes on a couple outside linebackers. Chris Schobel was one. He was out of Auburn. And he went number 5 to Dallas. So we ended up going with a guy who kind of took a little shot in the dark here with this guy was projected 2nd round, but it's the cornerback out of LSU, another 21-year-old, Thomas Fisher. Fisher was he's 6'2", 207, so he's got great size. And then he busted out a 4.35 at the combine, which was the fastest of all corners. So it made us, it kind of sold us on taking him this early, even with that late projection. You see the B+ zone coverage, B press, B- man, all good enough. And 21 years old, easy to upgrade as well. But we're very happy Fisher is there. He was a 2nd corner taken after Joseph Rowe. Here you're going to see his player card, 80 overall, 93 speed, 89 acceleration. Kind of wish that was a little higher, but not the end of the world. 86 zone coverage right out of the box to go along with 81 man and 84 press. This guy's going to slide into our nickel corner, play a little bit of safety in some of our formations that we need him. But Thomas Fisher, really excited about this guy. Pair him next to 6'3" Spencer Frazier and 6'3" Kevin King on the outside, and put Fisher right in the slot there. Really gives us some flexibility if we want to move Kevin King before we give him that big deal. So we'll kind of see what we're thinking there. But let's go ahead and see how these guys slide into our starting lineups. So we'll go to our offense here. Kind of see from left to right up there. Same offensive line as last year. Jerron Gross at left tackle, the second-year man. Greg Robinson, TJ Lang at the center. Laken Tomlinson was our starting right guard. We actually just made a trade with the Browns to grab Rod Johnson, a 24-year-old prospect. He's a pretty good guy, strong, going to slide in that right guard position and take Tomlinson's job. And then obviously our stud at right tackle, Russell Felix. You know, Felix, 99 overall. Most people would want to play him at left tackle, but in the XCFL, we noticed all the best pass rushers are on the right tackle side. So we're going to stick Felix on the right side and keep him there, protect our franchise quarterback, Matthew Stafford. Eric Ebron's back at tight end after a pretty good year last season. Miles Missouri, our fullback, he's a second-year man. Matt Stafford, 86 overall, 32 years young, still rolling. Big last couple seasons, he's put up some big numbers, looking to kind of continue that. And then the guy that keeps it on moving, our running back, Tevin Coleman, 90 overall, 27 years old, though. So we're going to have to kind of figure out a new plan at running back moving forward. But Coleman's got a lot of gas left in the tank. So right here, wide receiver 1, 2, and 3. This is how we started the year. Jarvis Landry at wide receiver 1. Wide receiver 2, the rookie Dixon Bishop. Wide receiver 3, Lawrence McCoy, who was our second-round pick last year, the wide receiver out of Missouri. So we ended up dealing Jarvis Landry in a deal to the Ravens for a first-round pick. So that we ended up sliding Bishop to the wide receiver 1, Lawrence McCoy goes to wide receiver 2, and then it's going to be a combo of Nate Sims, our 5'8" wide receiver, the speedster who had 8 touchdowns for us last year, and Ishaq Douglas. Douglas, a taller guy, 6'4", with good speed. A lot of teams are interested in Douglas when you put him on the block, but then with the moving of Landry, Douglas will be a big part of this offense moving forward. So the offensive unit looks pretty similar to what we had last year, other than Jarvis Landry, who has been a top receiver in the XCFL for the last couple of years. But we'll go ahead and look at our defensive side of the football. The same 3 guys up front, Carl Lawson, Kason Everett, and Samson Ibukam. We got some fast defensive ends, and, Everett, 300 pounds, 6'7", right there in the middle. All 3 are 25 years old. Outside linebackers, the exact same as last year, Donald Payne. That's our speedster, 87 speed, 90 acceleration, 90 agility with some serious hit power. Just got to up those finesse moves. Right now he's 5'11", 217, so very undersized, but he brings a punch when he makes the hits, and he's a playmaker all over the field. And then Solomon Cohen. This was the guy we took number 2 overall in the draft last year. 6 feet tall, 242, 24 years old, and he's got that superstar development. We're looking for Cohen to make some big strides this year in the pass rushing for us. We'll see him a lot all over the field. Defensive end, middle linebacker, outside linebacker. He's got the speed to make it happen, so we're really excited about this guy coming back healthy this year. Middle linebacker 1 and 2. Jared Davis has been there for a few years for us, only 24 years old. This is his 4th year, I think, 3rd year, so he's a young guy. And we paired him with Alton White, who we drafted late in the first round last year, who actually led the XCFL in tackles, which is huge for our middle linebacker number 2, especially with how Davis has been so injury-prone the last few years. And then the guy not shown is Eric Wilson. He's another speed middle linebacker we have who kind of plays on passing downs in different situations. But let's look at the corners here. Cornerback 1, 2, and 3. We talked about it earlier. Spencer Frazier, Kevin King, Thomas Fisher, the rookie. We got these. Look at the height. 6'3", 6'3", 6'2". Spencer Frazier might be the fastest corner in the league at a 96 speed. He's blazing. And then obviously the man that makes it all happen, the interception leader. 2 years ago, the most outstanding player in the XCFL, Josh Jones, the 99 overall safety. And then he's got a new buddy at his other safety position this year, and it's Gregory Marshall. When we dealt away Buda Baker, this guy made it possible to do that. We like, 6'4", 215. He's 23 years old. He's pretty good speed for a guy his size, and we're gonna look for him to play up in the box as well as in coverage because him and Jones can both do it all. So we're real excited about this new safety pair we got going on. So we see our offense, we see our defense. Let's go ahead and look at our schedule. So we open up the year with the Panthers. We play the NFC South this year, as well as the AFC South, I think it is. Yep, the AFC South, as well as, our normal division games twice. So let's look. We got, kickstart with the Panthers, the Falcons, Packers, Houston, then Tennessee, San Fran. We got a nice stretch there through, weeks 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It gets pretty challenging. Then we head into some division matchups between the Vikings. We get the Bears at the beginning of our bye week and right after. We get to play the Colts, Jacksonville, the Saints, the Vikings, the Bucks, Packers, and then we finish with the defending Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys. 2nd year in a row we play them. So it's definitely not going to be an easy road this year with some really tough games, a ton of playoff teams in there. The AFC South is no joke. But yeah, I mean, Atlanta's always a battle. Tampa Bay plays us tough. Jacksonville, Leonard Fournette. I mean, you know what you get with Dallas. And I mean, I think Minnesota has a big year. The Bears are red hot. It's going to be an interesting year for these Detroit Lions and see what we can do. So we are in week 4, I said. So let's see how we did through the first 4 weeks. We are currently sitting at 3-1. We kind of blew out the Panthers to kickstart the year. We were feeling really good, 34-0. Came back in week 2 at home, playing the Atlanta Falcons. Had a few issues with some connection, but it didn't go our way. Played very bad, turned over the football, got sacked a few times, but so neither 34-0 there. So back-to-back 34-0s. One we were on the right side, the other we were on the back side. Then we went to Lambeau Field, played the Green Bay Packers. It was a shootout. Stafford played well, ended up putting up 51 points on the board, won 51-34. And then we just played Coach Boone and the Tennessee Titans, and we were able to squeak that one out 31-24. It was a hell of a game. A battle, one of my favorite games to play. It's one of those chess matches where it's user versus user, guys making plays all over the field. But looking ahead here, we got the game of the week. It's going to be broadcasted on XCFL Network. We got Coach Yost and the Tennessee Titans coming to town. Yost has put up some massive seasons back-to-back years. 2 years ago, he won the Super Bowl. So it's going to be a challenge. We'll see how this upcoming schedule goes. It could get ugly for us, but we're going to try to right the ship and keep it moving in the right direction. But we see the schedule. Let's go ahead and move on here to 2 big re-signs we made. And they are our strong safety Josh Jones and our middle linebacker Jarrad Davis. You can see Jones got 5 years, $47.9 million, $18 million guaranteed. And then Davis got 5 years, $25.5 with only $7.35 guaranteed. But these are the 2 centerpieces for our defense, and we needed them. We shopped Jarrad Davis a little bit, but when it came down to it, the guy he's a vet and he's only 24 years old. He's started for us 3-4 seasons, and you can't replace that experience. He's got some serious speed, some serious coverage skills, and pairing him with Alton White was huge. As long as he can stay healthy, this is a good team-friendly deal for the Lions. 87 overall, and then Josh Jones. Yeah, we paid a safety a little bit more than we wanted to, but what this guy's been able to do the last few seasons, we had to. There's been no safety better in the entire XCFL. Maybe no defensive player better than a couple of guys putting up crazy sack numbers, but what this guy's done is special, and it gives us a lot of flexibility on defense to kind of play how we want to play. But just a quick little episode for you guys. That's going to kind of round it out here. I know no stats, no videos, nothing fun, but just kind of introducing the new season. Like I said, we'll get the videos rock and rolling, some highlights rolling next episode, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, concerns, any moves I should make, anybody you don't like, let me know. Shoot down in there in the comments. But yeah, stick around and we'll see how these Detroit Lions can do, and maybe we'll win the NFC North and get back to the playoffs again. Hopefully make a little more noise this time. But, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm Nick Larson, your host, and this was The Lions Den.